This is a short presentation on neighbourhood centres and disaster resilience in Queensland. Hi, I'm Natasha Odgers, the Disaster Resilience Co-Lead with Neighbourhood Centres Queensland on disaster resilience. As many of us know, Queensland is the most disaster affected state in Australia. Neighbourhood centres across the state are playing an active and important role towards disaster resilience in supporting communities across all stages of natural disasters. Neighbourhood Centres Queensland, along with the neighbourhood centre members, have developed a number of strategies towards disaster resilience. This includes the Queensland Neighbourhood Centres Disaster Resilience Strategies for Bushfire, Drought and Monsoon Resilience, and also a broader context of disaster resilience across the whole state. The content from this presentation has been drawn from these strategies. A little bit of context for the state in terms of disasters and neighbourhood centres. There are over 140 neighbourhood centres in Queensland, and over 1.83 million visitors come to neighbourhood centres each year. $15.9 million has been provided in assistance via neighbourhood centres just in 2021 alone. This includes over 500,000 tonnes of food assistance and $2.3 million in other emergency relief provided to communities. There's also over 2,745 volunteers each week to neighbourhood centres. So neighbourhood centres have a high value when we're talking about disaster resilience. One key area of interest here is that they are often the first and last point of contact for individuals affected by disasters. Neighbourhood centres can also quickly adapt to the needs of their local community by tapping into the local resources through collaborations and rearranging internal roles where staff resources are available. It's worth noting that each centre is extremely different and has different capacities to what they can offer. Neighbourhood centres also understand that empowering individuals to prepare for disasters and build strong support networks are key steps to enhancing their resilience of the community. Neighbourhood centres have strong connections with a broad spectrum of local residents, community groups and services. They particularly focus on supporting those most vulnerable, usually when people are in crisis, by offering emergency relief, counselling, ethical loans, service navigation, and also strengthening community connections, often addressing social isolation. Programs to support this include community development programs, wellbeing programs, family support, migrant support, elderly groups, youth groups, community gardens, suicide prevention, and so much more. So as you can see, neighbourhood centres do resilience work every day. Here is just a summary of some of the ways neighbourhood centres play a role in disaster resilience. In the preparedness stage, they're involved in community disaster planning, facilitated by local disaster management groups. Typically, the neighbourhood centres will sit in the human social recovery groups. Not all centres are involved, and we really encourage neighbourhood centres and the broader sector to see and value the role of neighbourhood centres in this planning context. There's also delivery of disaster preparedness sessions and disseminating disaster preparedness information, where neighbourhood centres are quite active. In the response phase, disseminating up-to-date information about disasters is a key area, particularly as they're seen to be one of the most trusted kinds of organisations where people come to for information and support. They often feel trusted and are seen to be very welcoming. They refer affected individuals to support organisations, and also in times can provide an evacuation space or recovery space. Given neighbourhood centres operate under a place-based model, they understand locals' knowledge, needs, assets, and people. So neighbourhood centres find themselves being extremely valuable to playing a connector role and in planning. In the recovery phase, neighbourhood centres are often active for weeks, months, and even years. They provide material aid, wellbeing checks, emotional support, and information referral, just to name a few services and programs. In this recovery, it has been the case that in a few neighbourhood centres, they have been the #1 place of support. This has been the situation in North Townsville with North Townsville Community Hub in the aftermath of 2019 Cyclone Debbie. And it was years of recovery work that centre did. Another example is has been just in early 2022 with the floods. Multiple floods in the Gympie area and Maryborough. Those centres were put up as recovery hubs, as well as so many centres in the southeast. So this is an example of some of the strategies that were identified through the Monsoon Resilience strategy. So key areas have included the need to communicate roles and capacity, increase disaster preparedness, strengthen vulnerable people's resilience, enhance collaboration, optimise the use of resources, and support staff to support the community. In some of the other strategies like bushfire and drought, there were some other different strategies identified, such as business continuity planning and sharing resources such as templates, learnings and case studies, looking at enhancing staff and volunteer training, and most importantly, seeking funds to better resource these centres, particularly in terms of wages to strengthen the work, as many centres really are reliant on funds that are allocated through government and grants to particular programs. So often there is no dedicated funding to support the amazing work that neighbourhood centres do in terms of disaster resilience. This is an image of the 3 existing strategies for drought, bushfire and monsoon. And there's current work being done on the overarching state strategy. If you'd like to see details on these, please look at the Neighbourhood Centres Queensland website shown on the screen. So if you are interested to contact your local neighbourhood centre, you can find contact details on the Neighbourhood Centre Queensland website, looking at the map, and also there's a range of information, resources and project updates on the website. We really encourage you to have a look and make contact with us if you would like to look at any opportunities for collaboration. Thank you very much.